the Woodward Sports app, and anywhere you listen to podcasts. Let's talk some sports. It's Big D Energy.
And here we go. Welcome to Big D Energy, live right now on woodwardsports.com. My name is Stick. I am filling in for Neil Rule today. Got my speaker turned up on my computer so I can hear me talking in the background. A rookie mistake already out of the gates, but happy to be here hanging out with four-time Stanley Cup champion Darren McCarty, along with Flannel Sam, rocking flannels for how many consecutive days, baby?
This is 142.
142. What are you going for? 365?
365. I'm not even halfway there. Jesus Christ.
And then, of course, Spencer Raxter, making sure we look good over there in TD Land, the executive producer of this show. So welcome. Pistons got to play last night. The Lions talk has been spicing up all week long. We can talk a little bit about Antonio Brown and Tom Brady action coming up. Just lots of stuff to talk about today. D-Mac, first, I got to give a shout out to Birmingham Roast. This thing here is crack. This is a blueberry latte that they make, but I went in there today like I normally do to get my drink, and they were like, hey, you want to try this new sandwich we got? I'm like, okay. So they tried the sandwich, and they're like, yeah, someone's doing a pay-it-forward thing, and they're buying people drinks and food. So I got everything for free this morning. I didn't even expect it.
Oh, is that why you walked in here with that?
The sandwich?
Tell them about that sandwich the size of your head.
Yeah, it was big ass. It's gone now. It's in here, but it was absolutely delicious. But yeah.
So is that your first time with the blueberry crumble or whatever it's called?
No, I'm addicted to these things now. But you love those pay it forward moments. And I know like there's a lot of people that hate on those things when they happen at places like Birmingham Roast or like expensive places. Like, oh, rich people don't need for people to pay it forward. I was like, yes, they do. Everybody's got problems. Everybody's got issues. And if you do one nice thing for somebody, it can trickle effect all the way down the road. So shout out to the people who do the pay it forward thing. Now I feel obligated to do it.
Well, that's the whole thing, right? Different people. So what are you going to pay it forward with? Same thing?
No, I'll figure out something. Are you going to go with
something when you pay it forward? Is it something that you like?
Money.
Yeah.
So you want somebody else to try it?
It's either that or like what I want to do is like find a family, take them to the zoo, pay for them to go to the zoo or something like that.
That's cool. I don't think the zoo gets enough play.
No, the zoo's awesome. Go to the zoo, everybody. But have you ever done it?
I think that's a good point, though, Stick. Maybe it's because everybody's feeling good. We're in October. We got a couple days in the 70s. So everybody, if you got yard work or if you can get out there on the golf course or enjoy these last few days. I know Friday it's going to get a lot colder by about 20 degrees. So maybe people are feeling really good because the weather outside in October isn't usually this nice in the 70s.
Yeah, no, I love it. My birthday's coming up on Friday, and traditionally my birthdays are cold as hell.
So did you pay it forward before you left, or will you pay it forward later?
Later.
Okay.
Yeah, it got sprung on me at the last moment. They're like, oh, yeah, and someone's buying all this. So whoever you nameless person are, man, female, whatever you'd like to be called, thank you very much. Have you ever had a pay it forward moment? This is like the second time in my life that it's happened to me. Both times at a coffee shop. Yeah,
I've seen it happen a few times. More at McDonald's or fast food joints or whatever. And I think that, a great point brought up by Detroit Dabber 313. I don't think it's 100% about the money. It just puts someone in a good mood.
Right. But you always see those people online complaining like, oh, those are the people that don't need nice things. They already have nice things. It's like everybody needs to be treated nice from time to time. I don't care where you're at in life. Jeff Bezos still needs somebody to like do nice things for him.
Yeah.
Spencer says like, I don't feel bad for those rich bastards.
At the end of the day, that's why those people really don't matter. Let them go live by themselves in misery.
Yeah, well, Spence, have you ever had a pay-it-forward moment happen to you?
Yeah, one time, it was when I was really young. Me and a couple of my friends went to like Burger King, and we were in line, and we ordered, and some old guy behind us was like, I'll pay for the boys.
Yeah.
Did you order an extra fry or something?
Yeah, threw some onion rings on there.
The onion rings. That's when you know you've made it, when you can order the onion rings at Big Boy.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Sam, how about you?
Not once. I'm kind of feeling a little bit left out now. Come on, somebody, if they see a man in a flannel buying something, offer to pay it for me, man. Pay it forward. I'm a nice guy.
Mike G commenting in the woodwardsports.com chat, the Lions defense is like the reptile cage at the Detroit Zoo. Both of them are empty.
Okay, good to know. Don't go to the zoo to see the reptiles.
Yeah, no, this is like the perfect time of year to see the zoo. Not that I'm a zoo expert, but like it needs to be a little bit cool so the animals will be out and about. You go when it's hot as hell, they're just laying there doing nothing. So go when it's kind of cool in the fall.
Mike G always on point, because maybe you're like me. You're more of a pay it back type of guy instead of pay it forward.
No?
I like that one. You're always on it, Mike. Yeah, whatever makes you happy. I think that, a lot, especially with the people in the chat, the people that follow Big D Energy, more of a positive show. Even though Neil tries to bring it down sometimes, we try to keep it up here. So that's why you're here today.
Well, Neil wants to know what the salary cap was of a gift card, because he wants to know economically how many people he could get free coffee for before he makes that type of commitment.
Well, or he doesn't before he can claim it.
Yeah.
As a dependent.
As a dependent. Yeah, it's definitely a charitable tax write-off for Neil Rule.
There you go.
For that guy, he probably just threw a bunch of money at him and was like, here you go.
That's the draft capital salary cap of pay it forward, right, is the write-off ability.
Well, speaking of draft capital, the Pistons, they played last night. We're going to get into that. Jaden Ivey, that's who they spent the majority of their draft capital on. Sam Flannel got to watch a bit of the game. I got to watch a bit of the game. Spencer, did you see the young Bucks doing their thing, even though they lost?
Yeah. Can I ask a question first?
Yeah.
Like, excitement level before tip-off, was it higher than maybe in the past? And I know it's exhibition. We're going to talk about how the guys played and first game exhibition. I'm not going to put too much stock into it, but how about the fan level excitement? Were you guys like dialed in, tuned in, and a little bit more excited than in past years?
I was just pumped that it was on national TV too. Like, you flip on, it was on TNT. You flip on, and there's the Pistons on TNT. I don't think we got one nationally televised game last year. So the fact that they already want to put these young fellas on display. Now, granted, we were playing New York, so obviously they want to stroke the number one market in the nation. But still, the Pistons were on the TV too. So I was excited.
Now, how about you, Spence? Was it exciting? Like, did it wear off? You know how we say, like, exhibition football, and I think Neil and I had this conversation that you're all excited when an NFL exhibition starts, first series, first play, maybe first quarter, then it's like, okay, I've had enough, then let's get to the regular season. Was it like that last night?
No, I mean, I was excited for it. I was excited to see the young guys. Wore off a little bit when I saw Corey Joseph come on the court. And it kind of pissed me off. Kind of pissed me off a little bit. But, no, I was excited. I was excited throughout. Happy to see the young guys out there, and I'm really looking forward to this season.
Yeah, me too. I definitely am. Sam, what did you think last night while you were watching?
I mean, it was exciting because the Pistons are another one of these young teams with an up-and-coming GM that we think are building it the right way and are going to be good. And it was just nice to see them on the court for the first time in a while. Nice to see the younger guys, the rookies in particular. And I know we'll talk about it more in a later segment, but it didn't really wear off for me because it's just good to see NBA basketball on TV, especially in a year where the Lions are kind of disappointing. Speaking of things we'll get to later.
In a year? I mean, this has just been the case for the Lions since 1957, man. Come October, we start thinking about the Pistons and the Red Wings. We used to have April in the D. That used to be nice.
But there's a reason to be excited about the Pistons and the Red Wings.
We used to have April. Now we have October in the D.
One of these days they're going to bring that song back.
April in the D.
It's catchy, man.
Remember the horrible submissions? The ones that didn't make the cut? They were like, Hush the Rapper and stuff like that, putting in April in the D. Do you remember that, Spencer?
Oh, yeah. I remember they did the whole thing, like, send in your April in the D cover, and they play one every once in a while, and they were pretty bad.
We got to have you do one because I know you rap. We'll have you do an October in the D.
All right.
Like, Lions suck. Yeah. We're back to Red Wings and Pistons because April, we're not in the playoffs anymore. So, yeah, April in the D, baby. Yeah, it was good to see Ivy last night. I was telling Flannel Sam and I think Spencer before the show, there has never been a player like Jaden Ivey in a Pistons uniform, ever. We can't compare him to anything. We can't match him up with any other player of his generation or his talent and skill set. I've never seen anything like it, and it started in Vegas when he was splitting 5 defenders and taking it to the rack and finishing. To me, the only other player we can kind of compare him to is like a smaller, faster Grant Hill. Because Grant Hill's the only guy I can remember absolutely schooling an entire defense.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think that you see something different, even if you've watched, the rookie games in Vegas or even last night. There's a skill set that this guy has, and in hockey, the game has changed from the physicality to be about it's not size, it's speed, right? You see the way this kid can get up and down the floor, and then the way that the hops that he has. I mean,
Unreal. It's superhuman.
It's just something that we haven't seen, and even when you're not a big basketball fan like myself, you can notice it, and it's pure talent. So, I mean, it's you got to like the things you said. I see it in the chat thread talking about Jalen Duren there, and I got a little tidbit when we talk about the Pistons later of conversation I had with Earl the Twirl Curitan.
Yeah, Commerce's favorite son.
Yeah, absolutely. Who really was talking about before the season and stuff about expectations. But I think that what you're seeing, to Sam's point, of the Troy Weaver of the team sort of coming together slowly but surely. So I'm happy. I'm happy. You just got to be patience now. Patience and
but how patient, right? I mean, how you got your Dan Campbell season. Clock. You got your 2 years on Dan Campbell.
All of it pretty much all the teams. And I can't make a decision on the Tigers because it's even longer than that until Scott Harris makes a decision. But the 3 other teams are on this one clock, this one season. They've pretty much, in my opinion, have this season, and then I'll let you know.
All right. Well, we got some Lions talk coming up later, and I want to talk to you about that Dan Campbell clock. Is it still on the same pace? Are you still comfortable with where you're at? You still on that prediction?
Well, it's not a Dan Campbell clock. It's a Lions clock.
Okay.
It always has been. And it's an organizational clock to offense, defense, special team coaches, stuff like this. What it's telling me, Stick, what the clock has is how many times did I think, thank goodness I have the clock so I can go back to it and then run it out. Because that's what this season is. Neil says it all the time, but pretty much I think we should roll the tanks in and it doesn't mean we can't improve coaching-wise, but we got a lot of improvements to make, and it has to start this weekend because I don't know what happens if you let Matt Patricia and Bailey Zappe throw 30 points up on you. That should be the end-all, be-all.
That's definitely something we got to talk about today right here on Big D Energy. Shout out to everybody in the woodwardsports.com chat right now. Make sure you're getting involved in the conversation because we want to know what you guys think too. You're a big part of this. And also, we love the fan opinions on this. Like, I'm a fan, so I have no problem admitting that. And I love watching what you guys think too because a lot of times we don't agree. And that's okay. We don't have to agree. A lot of times you don't agree with Flannel Sam, right?
Oh, a lot of times people don't agree with me. But you know what? I love good, smart conversations, and I like to hear other perspectives because I am willing to change my opinion if I get new and better information, as you guys know.
And that's a Neil Rule thing, right?
I think I started
that's
it, but
Sam
still.
Flannel thing.
No, really?
Yeah, that's a Sam Flannel thing. That's why he's the legend killer.
And that also makes
because
it very pliable in any
caveat.
argument.
That's a true legend killer giving himself the caveat with new information. Change his opinion.
It also gives him a way to always be wrong and then be like, oh, yeah, you're right. No, yeah, I'm good. Like, it gives him the back door out at all times. I learned a new information. So, yeah, don't forget about everything I just said for 10 minutes.
But I'm not smug about it. It's more of a thing.
You're not. No, not at all.
It's a thing of not dying on dumb hills.
142-day flannel.
Hey, 142-day flannel. That just shows I'm a team player, and I'm willing to go through things. It's okay.
Well, you know what I could do for 142 days? Go to Big Boy, eat those loaded fries. They're so damn good. When we were out there doing the live broadcast, they helped us out, man. They brought us the full menu. You got baked potato fries. Delicious. You got chili cheese fries. You got nacho fries.
Amazing.
And they are delicious. Bacon Blue Burger, Big Jim Burger, and the chili cheeseburger all going on right now at Big Boy. Find one near you. Go to bigboy.com.
Burgers and fries.
So good.
Life is full of hard choices. We're here to make one of life's biggest decisions as simple as possible. My name is Christina Gennari, and for over 20 years, I've helped hundreds of families buy and sell homes. We cover all of Metro Detroit and more, from large luxury homes to starter homes. We will work hard to make sure that you get the home of your dreams. So if you're in the market today or even thinking about buying or selling in the future, make the obvious choice. Christina Gennari, the obvious choice in real estate. Visit us at soldchristina.com today.
3 NBA championships. Detroit fans were there. 11 Stanley Cups. Detroit fans were there. 4 World Series wins. Detroit fans were there. And that one Lions playoff win in 1991. Yeah, Detroit fans were there. Woodward Sports, where the fans are.
Listen, there's nothing worse than a butt crack full of sand. The song says it. You don't want it. Avoid it at all costs. Do not let sand in your butt crack. And that's why you need to go to Chili Peppers Tanning, because they have the hottest deals, the darkest tans, and the hottest bulbs. Oh, sorry about that. What you doing over there, Flannel? Distracting me, Flannel. It's having a good read here, too. And it's homecoming season, so make sure you go there and get your tan before your homecoming and ask about the airbrush that they have at Chili Peppers Tanning. Welcome back to Big D Energy on woodwardsports.com. Thank you guys for checking us out, being a part of the conversation. My name is Stick, filling in for Neil Rule today. Terry is also off. He is at the dentist getting his mouth drilled. And then we have Darren McCarty, 4-time Stanley Cup champion, who is always here, always on time, always dependable. We love you, D-Man.
When I'm here.
Yeah, when
I'm here, I'm dependable.
When you're here, you're here.
Absolutely.
And, of course, Flannel Sam over there in the sound booth, Spencer and Adam. You never know what devious thing Adam is up to now in the booth behind Spencer. It always scares me as he's sending pictures. What are you doing, Adam? I'm suspicious when Adam's around. Speaking of suspicious, we talked a little bit about your clock, D-Mac. We talked about now we're about 13 games left in that clock. What was your season prediction coming into this year for the Lions? What was your win total?
Yeah, I thought, when Vegas set the win total at 6.5, I thought they had a chance to hit 7 or 8 games. My prediction was 8 and 9. And right now, I lean back and really Vegas tells us everything. They're usually on point. So right now I see this team as a 5 or a 6 win team, especially if they can't get things figured out on defense. I mean, you can't consistently think you're going to put up 30, 40 points on offense and continue to lose. So to me, I see this team as a 5 and a 6 win team. I see people in the chat saying, hey, going to the hay rides, going to the haunted houses, the corn mazes on Sundays. That's okay. Wherever you have to put your Lion fandom. Because to me, this season, as Neil says, this season is pretty much over with. There's things to learn. Obviously, health this week, as the guys go back to practice, we'll be looking to hear from our girl, Maddie Miller, to see what the injury report is. You probably won't going to see much on a Wednesday.
Yeah, they said Swift may be able to play this week. He's upgraded from doubtful to questionable. So we got that going for us, which is nice.
Well, again, that's offense, and we know what he can do if he's healthy or if he plays. But it's more the concern. I'm more concerned about Josh Paschal and Jerry Jeudy and guys that, these adjustments. We heard out of Dan Campbell yesterday that they're going to mix up schemes or personnel. Or what can they do? Right?
Well, they said they want to simplify, right?
Well,
and
holy
that's
cow.
such a scary, scary thing, because when you simplify, that just means we're dumbing down because these guys aren't smart enough to execute what we want to execute. And I read between the lines on some of his comments in the press conferences about we're going to change personnel, some guys that are making the wrong calls. Really only one guy on the defensive side of the ball that makes the call, and that's your middle linebacker. That's Alex Anzalone. He's the one out there relaying the messages to the team because he's also the team captain. So when I was reading between the lines, it's like, all right, I don't think Anzalone's going to be starting for us, which he shouldn't have since day one. And we can go back months when I was like, oh, my God, Alex Anzalone made the team. Oh, my God, they made him a captain. They're going to trot him out there like he's our star linebacker. That's rough sledding when you got an Alex Anzalone as your main guy. So Dan Campbell.
So are you blaming Anzalone as the messenger to the? Am I hearing you correctly that you're not saying talent-wise is one thing and the way that he plays, but the fact that you read between the lines that the problem is who's communicating between Aaron Glenn? You're saying, or are you saying that Dan Campbell's using Anzalone as a scapegoat?
No, Dan Campbell kept using the word trust.
With as far as relaying the play call?
Because from what I heard from his comments were there's an issue in communication. There's a lack of trust. They need their swagger back. And sometimes when they send stuff in, guys aren't playing where they're supposed to be. Now, where that message is getting lost, is it the individual player that's not lining up where he's supposed to be? Or is it the quarterback of the defense not taking control, taking command, and being like, no, hey, you need 3 steps over, you're assigned to that gap. Maybe they don't have that general on the field. And like I said, this is all me reading between the lines. This was not said by Dan Campbell. This is being said by Stick. But who the hell else could he be talking about?
Aaron Glenn.
Aaron Glenn? But he said they're changing stuff about, like, the rotations on the field.
Okay, when I heard you say that, so they're changing rotations on the field, and it could be the communication part. But
Yep.
So I was hoping to look into it like it was, you saw a little conversation like we heard last year when he started taking the play control away from Anthony Lynn on the offense. I wanted, you didn't hear that. You think it's a personnel problem.
Yes.
It's a captain of the defense, so Anzalone. So that could be it, Stick. You might be right? I didn't understand why you're going to shoot the messenger for relaying that, but if he's not relaying it properly and not
Right.
putting guys in the right position. So my question is, who does that responsibility go to? Do you put, because you can't.
That's the tough part, right? Tracy Walker's out. He would be the vet,
You cannot
right?
put that responsibility on a rookie. Right
Hutchinson
away.
or
No,
Rodriguez?
Rodrigo.
Yeah. I don't know. You just have to find out who on your defense has the best grasp of every concept that you're trying to run. And now that you're dialing it back, it should increase the odds that all of them understand every positional player. Because if they're just going to play a basic front defense, I'm concerned with that. I'm glad they're at least doing some self-scouting and being like, hey, we wanted to be aggressive. The aggressive ain't working. We don't have the personnel for it, so let's dial it back. I like that they're a little self-aware on that. But at the same time, if you're going up against a Bill Belichick and you're going to go simple, you're going to get torched.
Yeah, but isn't
torched.
I'm confused a little bit just for the fact that isn't it coaching? If guys are in the wrong position and they can't do their playbook, and yeah, you can blame it on. And I get it why you change it up, because maybe the voice that is telling you you don't listen properly, or you can't hear him as a teammate, so that's why it needs to be said. But to me, isn't it more preparation and being prepared? Aren't great defenses and great teams with all the different schemes that they run on the same page? I don't know. To me, it's more of a glaring issue to Aaron Glenn than it is to Alex Anzalone. But you could be right, Stick, on how they're going to try to adjust to it.
Well, and to me, this may be true in hockey as well, but I know it's true in basketball. Defense is effort, right? You can be less talented, but you can give full-out effort on defense, and that can separate you sometimes. And Dan Campbell has addressed it. Hey, we've lost some of our swagger. How do they get that back? Like, when you were playing for the Red Wings and you go through a lull on defense, how did you guys look at each other in the locker room and be like, guys, this is not us. We got to get back to what we really are?
Yeah, no, it's doing your job. I think you brought up a great point. Maybe Aaron Glenn was fooled a little bit and thought he was more talented with the guys that he had to use the schemes that he wanted. You brought up the fact that as much as he blitzes, well, they can't cover, put guys in the right spot to cover for mistakes. Defense is a team effort,
yeah.
Right? I gotta be there for the guys next to me. What would you do? Well, different guys would do so. It's something as simplifying your game, like the simplification of it. So for me, right, I would know what I got to do. I got to go out and get a hit, maybe get into a fight. Guys that like the grind line where Maltz or Drapes would win a big face-off or block a shot, or Maltz stick a guy in the face, who knows, without taking a penalty.
Right.
Something
like
like
Penei
that.
Sewell last year gripping up Aaron Donald's face mask. Like, you need that guy to spark, right?
Well, like, for example, and Neil had mentioned this, is that you look at Penei Sewell on the fourth and goal on the Jamal Williams touchdown run where he had a guy 6 yards in the end zone. How many times have we said that? That's, on the offensive side, but it's effort. And that's to the point. When you don't have the talent, though, your scheme has to be flawless. And that's where we're caught in the middle.
You
don't have the 100% talent, you don't have a 100% scheme, and what we're seeing now is none of it works.
Sam, how are you feeling about the scheme and them scaling back to like just a simpler, more basic offense or defense?
Well, the problem is when you give up 41 points as a defense to a Geno Smith offense, you have to change something. Everyone has to take some culpability. Aaron Glenn, Alex Anzalone, I think more of his problem is he just sucks at linebacker. But maybe he isn't relaying the messages as well as he should. Because before this Seahawks game, I don't think anybody was talking about this defense as being historically bad. We were talking that there were some talent deficiencies at some positions, but you looked at a guy like Jeff Okudah, who was playing well. Malcolm Rodriguez was everything that the heavyweights hoped he would be. Aiden Hutchinson even had a game in which he had 3 sacks. The Lions completely shut down the Washington Commanders in the first half of their Week 2 matchup, and they won that game. The Detroit Lions defense also played pretty well for the most part against the Vikings, save for that fourth quarter, but they might not have even had to have been in those positions if they made smarter calls on offense throughout the game. So after this Seahawks game, a game that we all thought that they should win, every single person thought that that was a penciled-in win, maybe the most winnable game on the schedule, and the defense completely blows it, is a no-show. They don't force the Seahawks to punt one time. They give up 41 points, and I cannot stress this enough, to a Geno Smith-led offense. You have to try something. You have to maybe simplify it. Is that a good thing they're simplifying their defense after 4 games? Not necessarily, but the fact that they're at least looking into it, it shows that they know it's not working. And maybe if they simplify it, it can be a little bit better. Maybe they can have a game where, I don't know, they get a stop or 2, because that's all they needed.
Just 1 fourth down, that's all I asked.
That's all they would have needed in the last game, and they couldn't get it because this offense is obviously very good. They need a defense that is just normal bad, not historically bad.
Spence, how many games do you think they're going to win now this season, and what did you have them at coming in?
I had them at 7 coming into the season.
They're still there.
No, they're not.
Okay.
Because if they can't beat the Seahawks at home, I don't see how they can win any game on this schedule. It'll be very tough for you to tell me that they can win these games when they couldn't beat the Seahawks at home. So I'm going to say 4, probably.
4.
You know what we need to see?
4
games.
That's 1 more game than last year. That's a half game more than last. That's not even one full game more than last year.
4, probably.
That's not growth.
Sam, you nailed it. I mean, you've talked about it this week so far. If this defense made a play, made 1 play, made 2 play, which we always talk about Hutchinson and Harris, or even the linebacker, or the second, if they made 1 play in even the Philly game, even the Seattle game, even the Minnesota, 1 more play, the record could be 3-1. Is that out of line to say? Like, we haven't seen this defense make a play.
Yeah, Kurt.
We see fractions of it. We see 2 quarters here against Washington, but the consistency of make a play. When it's 3rd and 16, are you like me where you go, oh, how are they going to get a first down this time? Right? I mean, and that's the frustrating part, because they don't adjust and they don't change things. So for me, because we were close, if this defense makes 1 play like other teams' defenses do, even if they stink the whole game, good teams' defenses find a way to make a play. You know, we're sitting here going, well, they could be a playoff team.
And then, of course, the one time they do make a play on 3rd down and get a stop, they're like, that play doesn't count, let's redo it. And then they ran a touchdown right down our throats.
Yeah, but I mean,
so brutal.
That was brutal.
So brutal.
But you still got to stop them on 3rd and 16 on the second time.
Of course.
And even what D-Mac said, I don't know if they would be 3-1 if they made a couple more plays, but they'd absolutely at least be 2-2, and you'd be looking at this season completely differently. You'd be looking at this season as one with hope. Maybe they can still accomplish the goals that a lot of us have for them. And now we're almost talking about tanking already, and I never thought we'd be at that point after week 4. Never.
Whose defense is worse, Sparty or Lions?
Oof, I'm gonna let Spencer handle that question. That's
tough. That's a tough answer.
But okay, so you don't have to answer it. You pretty much not answering it tells me your answer is that they both are in the same toilet.
They're they're right about the same.
So who
place.
gets right first?
The Lions.
Okay.
The Lions, because I do think Aaron Glenn is a good coach. I do think he'll make adjustments. While Scotty Hazelton is just dead to me and should be executed in the square of East Lansing. He needs to be gone.
Gruff's gonna come out and just behead him.
Yes, that'd be nice. Feed him to the lions. Take him in the deep water and just
the deep end.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Tuck's coming. You want to tell us about Mike Phillips?
Yes. Are you looking to buy or sell your home? Whether you're a player or a fan, helping you buy, sell, or invest is Michael Phillips's top priority. Being in the game for 23 years makes Mike the #1 option for anyone. If you have real estate needs, call Michael Phillips at 313-403-0011. I'll say it again, 313-403-0011. This is Big D Energy on the Woodward Sports Network. We'll be right back.
Fellas, let's be honest. We like things to be easy. We like simple stuff, like sports 7 days a week. We like things uncomplicated, like Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Sign in, sit down, watch your favorite team play. And before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side.
Lemieux and McCarty, who've had a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle. They were talking to one another.
Woodward Sports.
No, we're on. I was just jamming out. Flannel Sam bringing the beats.
Love it.
DJ Flannel over there getting it done. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Network. Thank you to everybody watching live right now on woodwardsports.com and involved in the woodwardsports.com chat. We appreciate you. Make sure you download our app, which is available for you in Google or Apple stores right now. Just search Woodward Sports Network. My name is Stick, filling in for Neil Rule today. Terry is off at the dentist. Darren McCarty is here, along with Flannel Sam, and of course Spencer Raxter. Thank you guys for being a part of the show today. And when we were just in commercial break, it's crazy that we can do this. We just had a hard conversation about how our defense needs to recover, about how the Lions' defense is just historically bad, and how are we going to fix it? Our linebackers are awful. Are we firing the DC? What the hell is going on? And then we can have a straight other bipolar almost conversation about the Detroit Lions and be happy as hell because our offense is setting records. They're doing things that we've never seen done in the Honolulu Blue. And we can talk about the offense. So the question is, Spencer put it here, can Jared Goff and the Lions offense keep this pace up? Or is this fool's gold through 4 games?
Well, I think it's ridiculous to say this pace. All the people that had Goff on 5,000 yards and 40-some touchdowns, you're right now. But realistically, no, people are going to make adjustments. But what I'd like to see is the things that I know, right, for sure, is that Ben Johnson is the right guy for the job, whether you want to call him Nostra Johnson or whatever it is. Michelangelo of the painter of offensive football guru, something new. He's there. Deuce Staley, the way he's got the running backs, no matter who it is, next man up. The yardage they're running for, obviously, it's frustrating when you have 1st and goal, but as long as you punch it in at some point, they are running with what we saw on Hard Knocks. Deuce Staley attitude and Hank Fraley, what he's done with the offensive line through some injuries early in the season has been our asset. Mentioning Penei Sewell 5-6 yards in the backfield.
Right.
So I think that coaching on that side of the ball, that I'm pretty confident in and pretty sure of. Jared Goff is going out and doing what I thought he was able to do, but he's definitely stepped it up a level. He's got some talent around him. I think that, it's tough with Amon-Ra St. Brown being hurt, and then you don't have DJ Chark, even though he hasn't done anything. I think last game you saw that him and Hawkinson have been working, and they're going to try to figure it out, which...
Well, and you saw what happens when you target
it's
Hawk
easy
12
to get
times.
Frustrated, right, early in the season and quit on something, but they've shown me that they haven't, and they put more of the work in. I think one of the biggest MVPs since he's gotten here is Josh Reynolds, just because of the relationship and the confidence Jared Goff has in him as a security blanket.
Did you hear what Reynolds said about this offense? He said it's feeling, quote, very Ramsey, like the L.A. Rams when he was there. And I thought that was a strong-ass quote from Josh Reynolds.
Well, I think because they're moving the ball, because they have that speed, and we're not even mentioning, our Rolls Royce, our Lamborghini, who in Jameson Williams, who comes back, which is going to give you, a different element. So offensive side of the ball, as disappointed as we are defensively, offensively, we should just be this excited. To answer your question, I don't think it's possible to keep this pace up, but I expect an above average pace. I think the consistency, right? This is a big test this week. Why? Because you're going against Bill Belichick.
Yep.
And that's it. So
On
we
the
will
road.
really see, right? Because what has Bill Belichick has he done? He made Sean McVay look like a school child, in the Super Bowl, talking about calling plays depending on where he was on the field. This is Ben Johnson's first big test against, the guru and stuff like this. So we'll see. And it's a consistency. If we see the consistency, I don't expect them to put up 40 points, but they should consistently put up in the 20s.
I mean, yeah, it's tough to predict that they're going to continue at this pace because it hasn't been done often in the entire history of the NFL. But I also look at it and it's like they're only really tapping into the beginning stages of this offense, too. We're not even where we need to be. This is the first 4 games under Ben Johnson fully, so it can get better is what I'm thinking, too, logically, right? That makes sense. Spence, what do you think?
Yeah, once we see Jameson Williams injected into this offense, it could get better. We saw them put up 41 points or 45 points with Easy calls them UPS workers out there, and like we literally didn't have 55% of our offense in that game. With DJ Chark, with Amon-Ra St. Brown and DeAndre Swift accounting for that 55%, we still put up 45. So I'm not ready to say that, Jared Goff's going to throw for 44 touchdowns this year. That's the pace he's on. I'm not ready to say that yet.
God, that would be amazing.
It's looking pretty good.
And I got to say, for everybody who doubted me last year when I said Jared Goff was a decent quarterback, not even good quarterback, I said, no, he's a serviceable, he's going to do well for us. Oh, Goff's awful. Why do you think they didn't want him in L.A.? They gave you 2 first-round picks and Jared Goff because he sucks so bad. How bad does he suck? How bad does he suck?
You know what? The one thing is that at the end of the day, with the offense so good and the defense so bad, doesn't the defense, because they have to practice against the offense all the time, don't they just have to get better? I mean, I look back to we had the Hall of Famers. Right, you never touched the puck in practice. You had to go against the Russian Fives and go against all this. So you learned. What do you think the grind line learned to shut down the top lines in the other leagues? Because they had to shut down 2 of the top lines in the league in practice each time. That's what I'm saying.
Right. It's either that or there's the other side of the coin, though, too. You get your ass kicked in practice, and then on Sunday you get your ass kicked.
Well,
then you show back up to
soft,
practice
Stick.
and get your ass kicked.
That's not winning, Stick.
I know it's not winning, but
winning,
that's got to wear on you mentally, too, at some point. You're 4 weeks in, and you've got your ass handed to you every single game. Then you get to show up to work, and Penei Sewell gets to hand your ass to you for an entire week. They're professionals. They get paid. They should overcome that BS, right? I understand that, but I'm just trying to put myself in the psyche of a player that's just getting his ass handed to him week in and week out. And they're like, we're trying everything. Well, I'm trying my hardest, but
Here's
your
the thing.
hardest isn't good enough, bro.
Shouldn't you be mixing schemes up like with the other offense? I mean, you have one of the best offenses you go against, so shouldn't you be practicing your schemes on? Because if you can stop your team, you should be able to stop the other team. I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
But I don't know. More talent usually makes you better.
That's for damn sure. Flannel, do you think the offense can keep this pace up?
This is a torrid pace. They're averaging 35 points a game, which is more outer space than you even know. Because the last team to do that was the 2018 Kansas City Chiefs, and that season Patrick Mahomes threw 50 touchdown passes. But I do believe this can be a great offense, one of the best in the league. Jared Goff is playing the best football of his entire career, and that includes the 2018 Rams. He is tied for the league lead in touchdown passes. Jamal Williams leads the NFL in rushing touchdowns. Both Josh Reynolds, TJ Hawkinson, and Amon-Ra St. Brown, all 3 of them are on pace for 1,000-yard rushing seasons. And we're not even talking about yet their best unit, which is their line, which has been dominant all season. Penei Sewell looks like he's going to be an all-pro this year. So this offense is going to be very, very good. And you even include last week, TJ Hawkinson had the best game a Detroit Lions tight end has ever had.
But he's Eric Ebron, I was told.
And
I was told him and Ebron are the same player.
Take a victory lap, Stick, because he balled out. He was phenomenal. He was that number 8 overall pick. And that game, he was a Kelsey and a Kittle, even better than most games that they have. So this offense can be great. They have been great so far this year. I don't think they're historic. I don't think they're going to keep up 35 points a game. But all that being said, they have done all this. This offense looks amazing. We're all high on Ben Johnson. We all watch this offense and say, I haven't seen this from the Lions ever. And they're 1-3.
Yeah, even if they had like the 28th ranked defense, they'd be 3-1 or 4-0 at this point.
And that's what is so painful about that. They're wasting this great offense. They're averaging 35 points a game. I know it's a 4-game sample size, but that is outer space level.
Imagine this offense with the 2014 defense.
Oh my!
But we just can never have those. We can never have nice things together, right? We have one of the most dominant defenses in NFL history, number 2 ranked in the league in 2014, and our offense, even though we have Calvin Johnson and Super Bowl winner Matthew Stafford now, we didn't do anything.
Why
with
did
it.
you say it like that?
Because Stafford had a great year last year, right?
Yeah.
What's he doing this year?
Yeah.
What was he doing the 14 years before that?
Yeah.
I'm going to judge him on what I've seen more than one special year, and congratulations, he did his job. He went there, he got the Super Bowl, but that pick 6, he's leading the league in pick 6s this year.
Yeah.
Those killed us, and I know everybody wants to roast Goff for the pick 6 last week, but come on. That happens when you're a quarterback. I understand it. When you lead the league, you put your team in a bad position.
He doesn't have a touchdown in the fourth quarter this year.
Allen Robinson, ghost.
Yes.
Outside of Cooper Kupp, nothing on that offense. So I think LA is starting to get a little bit of the Matthew Stafford experience that we had. Mm-hmm. That's all I'm saying.
Well, we hope so.
Yeah, we do.
A better draft choice.
Give us those draft picks, draft capital, baby. I love that. I mean, if the Rams finish, just think, if the Rams don't make the playoffs and we get like a 15-16 out of them.
Here's what I'm hoping, right? They won this Super Bowl, so they have the Super Bowl sort of hangover. Things get a little bit tough. Maybe some of their big guys get some injuries, some nagging injuries. Let's go take care of that. Don't worry about the season. They sort of shut it down. So I'm cheering for Rams losses for sure.
Always. The people that rock those Detroit Rams shirts, it was cute. It was fun. We want that draft pick. So come on back. Come on back, baby. Reel it in. You're on Detroit's side. And I'm going to tell you about Planet Fitness. It's going to be awesome. We're doing a live broadcast at the Planet Fitness coming up on Ryan Road in Sterling Heights on Wednesday, October 26th. We're giving away Michigan State tickets to that rivalry game and a 1-year free Black Card membership along with a signed Darren McCarty jersey.
Wow.
And a signed Braylon Edwards jersey. Wow. And a signed flannel by Flannel Sam.
Wow.
Come on out. It's going to be a party at Planet Fitness on Ryan Road in Sterling Heights on Wednesday, October 26th. We'd love to see you out there. Planet Fitness. Your fitness is essential.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man-meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
When you need apparel, there's only one place to go. Big Frog in Novi. With no setup fees, no artwork fees, no minimum, and a 24-hour turnaround, you can have your whole team outfitted in no time. Embroidery, direct-to-garment, vinyl, and screen printing, Big Frog has it all in all the styles you want. So whether it's a sports team, fundraiser, school event, or corporate needs, Big Frog is your one-stop destination. Visit bigfrog.com/Novi or call 844-4-BIG-FROG.
Fall is here, and at Alta, uptime matters. Alta Equipment has everything you need to get the job done right. You have a bog project coming up. Alta Rent has you covered, so call them today, 844-GO-TO-ALTA. That's 844-GO-TO-ALTA.
Sam bringing some of that Motown funk into this. Ooh, baby. It's Wednesday, right?
Yep.
This was JB for the record.
Oh, this was JB?
This was JB.
I should have known it had some soul in it, so yeah. Shout out to JB. Does the audio for Ermani and Edwards, and for the heavyweights, which are on from 5 to 7 right here on woodwardsports.com. Thank you guys for being a part of the show today. This is Big D Energy. My name is Stick, filling in for Neil Rule. That is Darren McCarty, Flannel Sam, Spence in here. We were just talking about the Lions' offense. Could they keep that pace? I think everybody in here is just like cautiously optimistic. I think that's a good way to put it. Yeah, we can. Will we?
Do people really think we do? I don't think people think this is, realistic to the fact. I think the reality to the fact is that we have a offense that the offensive coordinator has put his guys in the perfect position. We talk about Aaron Glenn putting his defense in the right position. Well, they've done it on offense, so shout out to Ben Johnson. But is it unrealistic to think that you're going to score at the pace of the 2018 Kansas City Chiefs? I think it is.
You know what's crazy to me is Ben Johnson is doing what he does, right? Dan Campbell is who he is. He's
Bounce back after losing that gold medal, bro.
But I'm starting to hear the people that don't want Dan Campbell anymore are starting to push for Ben Johnson, which is, let's pump the brakes a little bit. Can we do that? I mean, he's only been an OC for 4 games, right?
Yeah. And didn't he sign a 6-year deal?
Dan Campbell did sign a 6-year deal, but at the same time, I mean, if you want to push Dan Campbell out the door and give Dan Campbell credit for hiring the DC that's not doing a good job, are you going to give him credit? Like, right now, Dan Campbell's grade should be a C, right? A on offense, failing miserably on defense. You average that out, it's a C. That was me in college and high school. C's are in degrees, right? That's all you need.
See, I didn't like that because at my house, I still had to go to summer school for the F class. I wouldn't be able to, not go to summer school for the class for the defense, which is what you want. So you want to see improvement. Now we agree, right? And to your point, Stick, 4 games, we need to, that's where the clock comes in too. The clock comes in is that we're giving Ben Johnson all his flowers now. Well, he needs a full season, and will be a season and a half because I'll give him credit for the last 6 games of last year.
Okay.
So, but I like what I see right now, and I don't think it's going to revert. I don't think all of a sudden he loses his feel for this offense or his communication with Jared Goff. There's a communication between him and Jared Goff that they absolutely click, right? You cannot argue that because to your point about whether you like Goff, you don't like Goff, whoever you are, you wish Goff was your quarterback in your fantasy league right now.
Damn right. Well, Aaron Glenn last year was kind of the golden child. Everybody was like, man, Aaron Glenn's going to be the best DC. He was interviewing for head coaching jobs, and this year it's fire Aaron Glenn by week 4. So I just want people to understand that, hey, in moments, Ben Johnson may do this, but a year from now, you may not feel the same way. We may be struggling on offense, so pump the brakes a little bit on Ben Johnson taking Dan Campbell's job. But the fact that I've heard that already is like, oh, damn. Oh, damn. What do you think about that, Sam?
I think you're talking directly to me because I was probably the biggest perpetrator of that. And I think the difference between Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn at this moment is that Aaron Glenn, I think last year we can say that he did a pretty good job, at least in a few games, with a defense that was untalented. But they still were second to last in the NFL in points allowed per game. What Ben Johnson is doing with this offense, helping Jared Goff play the best football of his career, completely unlocking a guy like Amon-Ra St. Brown and turning him into an all-pro caliber receiver, and a guy like Josh Reynolds even, with the offensive line and the running game. This is the best offense in the NFL right now, and Ben Johnson is the guy at the head of it. And the way that the NFL is trending towards Kyle Shanahan, Zach Taylor, Sean McVay, even Mike McDaniel, Kevin O'Connell, these are the young, brilliant offensive minds that teams want. And if Dan Campbell continues to have this losing record, like I said, if the Lions win 5 games or less, fire Dan Campbell immediately and promote Ben Johnson that day before they even get on the plane, before they even go home. So I'm not saying now, I'm saying if the Lions losing continues throughout the year.
But Derek Maurer in the WoodwardSports.com chat brought it up perfectly, is that here's the question you're going to have as the clock runs out to the end of the season, right? You're going to have to reevaluate Ben Johnson because 31 other teams, well, maybe 20 of them are going to be evaluating him too.
Yep.
And you could lose him. So that is a conversation that you might have to Sam's point there. So this all goes into, moving forward, because neither him or Aaron Glenn might continue to be here.
I think this is the first time I can remember as a Lions fan where we would have an assistant coach that was a sought-after prospect in the NFL. I can't think of another OC.
Don't you mean to say this is the first time that I'd be like, no, don't pick our guy off?
That's what I'm saying. Like, wouldn't that be so Lions-esque? We finally find the guy, and then he gets poached after one season. Like, we don't even get to see it fully develop here as a Detroit Lion. And that's what would be scary to me. I don't want to see Ben Johnson go, but to your point, man, when you got something good, other people are looking.
Well, Sam brought it up, too, right? What's the new NFL? The Sean McVays, the Kyle Shanahan's, that offense,
Yep.
the way the rules are made. So you need that offensive mind more than that defensive mind. You need the balance of both, but it's definitely an offense league.
Well, let's talk about some other coaches involved in this game. I think everybody knows the name Matt Patricia. He is now the offensive coordinator, even though he was a defensive genius, self-proclaimed defensive genius. He's now the offensive coordinator for Bill Belichick, which really means he's Bill Belichick's bitch and just does whatever Bill Belichick says, because anybody who's ever coached under Bill Belichick can't really coach, period. We've seen that. Romeo Crennel, Charlie Weiss, Mike McDaniel, Bill O'Brien. I mean, the list goes on and on.
Scott McDaniels now
with the Raiders?
With the Raiders, yeah. 1-3.
Ugh. Well, either way, Matt Patricia is going to be calling the offensive plays. And we just had a very good conversation about Aaron Glenn. Who do you trust more not to suck? Because they're both going to suck. Who's going to suck less?
You know what this is like? This is like that your favorite fighter or your prize fighter has just lost a few games in a row and has got knocked out or whatever like that in Aaron Glenn, and he's going in to fight a guy that you absolutely hate, that he can redeem himself to totally on this game, because the game ain't the Lions versus New England, it's Matt Patricia versus Aaron Glenn.
Yep.
And if you let Aaron Glenn come, because that's a Detroit versus everything stick. I'm going deeper into the culture of what we're about here, in Detroit, and this is personal. So Aaron Glenn better take it personal that his defense better figure out a way, because this is about Matt Patricia and what he did to this organization and how he came in and was a pompous ass.
Yep.
And set us back a few years and stuff like this. Aaron Glenn can use this game, and his defense should know that this means so much to the coach. So if this coach means that much to you guys in that locker room, you'll do everything you can and pull every stop out to win this game, and not let Bailey Zappe, right, put points on the board because it's Matt Patricia that you're playing against. This is Aaron Glenn and Matt Patricia. And you know what? Extreme Rules WWE is Saturday night. We're expecting the White Rabbit, Bray Wyatt, to come back, hopefully. And on Sunday is the big match. It's Patricia versus Glenn. And that's it at the end of the day. He has to win that. Aaron Glenn could save face in this town immediately if he punches Matt Patricia in the face on Sunday. Not figuratively, but...
Both? Both? Do both. Kick his ass on the field, and then after the game, shake his hand and punch him right in the face. For all of us, Aaron Glenn. You want to embrace this city? You want us all to get back on the bandwagon? Go punch that fat elf in the face on Sunday.
See, that would be if I was at Allen Park this week, that's what I would be preaching up and down.
Right.
Because it's like, I need you, because you're going to do it for your coach, right? For your defensive coordinator, because you guys haven't had it down before. And the pompousness, and I wondered, hopefully Matt Patricia hasn't learned his lesson, and he's just figuring he's going to run roughshod through this Lions defense like the rest of the league has, and we got something for him. So
yeah, pride is what's on the line this week. It's bigger than a game. And I hate when people say that, but this is bigger than a game. If Matt Patricia comes in with his offense and puts up 40 points on us, that is going to gut this city. It's not only a Lions issue, that is going to be a Detroit issue, because we hated this dude. He came in here and wrecked a 9-7 football team because that wasn't good enough. And now we got a chance to go into his house, punch him in his face, make up for this 1-3 start. All of a sudden we're 2-3 after punching the fat guy in the face. And we're like, okay, we're not that bad right now, right? This is more important, and honestly, I'm so happy it's lined up this way, because They need that extra motivation. You want to talk about how we lost our swagger? Okay, why don't you go around and call Darius Slay, have him do a press conference with your defense and tell you what it was like when Matt Patricia showed up. Why the hell Pro Bowl Darius Slay is sitting his ass in Philly right now when he could be in our locker room shutting people down? But no,
Quandre Diggs.
They didn't want him. Quandre Diggs. Have him call up and be like, dude, this guy ruined your culture.
Safety. There's your safety.
There you go. Yeah, defense starting to come together now, man. It's almost like we had some players from the Jim Caldwell era, but, you know, we don't want to talk about that. Either way, this is an important game for Detroit, not just the team, the whole damn city, because if Matt Patricia comes in and smacks us in the face again, I'll have no pride left.
This is a guy that came in and did your sister wrong.
Yeah, this is a guy that came in on the turkey table at Thanksgiving in front of you, smacked your sister, and you just sat there.
No, okay, no, I'm going to even give you that you weren't in the room. But now you are. First time face to face with the guy that did this. How much pride do you have in your city?
This is I just got done watching Game of Thrones for the first time.
Oh.
This is like the one dude that captures the chick and tortures her. She gets away, comes back, and lets the dogs eat.
Ramsey Bolton.
There we go. We need to let the dogs eat this dude.
Who let the dogs
That's
out?
what needs to happen. And the Detroit Lions have every opportunity to do that this week. Will they do it? God, I hope so. And I honestly, do you think they're using this as billboard material in the locker room?
Be. Absolutely. There better be Patricia fatheads all over that Allen Park right now. But it should be, because here's the thing. Remember when I talk about the championship teams or the pedigree is when it means more to play for the guy beside you than it does for yourself.
Right.
Well, this is the mentality on offense, on defense, on special teams. Everybody in there should be looking and saying, we need this for Aaron Glenn. If this is our guy and he's your guy, that you can make it right. So it should be, guys should be going to studying extra hard, figuring out what they can do. Aiden Hutchinson, here's an opportunity for you to get back at it in your fifth game in an impressive way.
Kill Zappe.
You know
if you can't get to Zappe,
listen. You know Belichick's going to scheme towards them, double team, whatever. But have you learned? Are you gonna evolve and stuff like this? But they should take this as personal as any game that they've played because of what it means to their defensive coordinator.
well, we're going to find out on Sunday if they use all of this as material, but I swear to God, if Zappe ends up like running for 50 yards on us, just shut her down. Just shut her down. We'll forfeit the rest of the season just so none of our guys get hurt, and we'll practice every week so we get real good for next year. And that's what I want to do. Tell them about Swiss.
Yes, sir. Time to talk about Swiss. Not Turkey and Swiss. Swiss Insurance Group. Mark and his awesome team at Swiss Insurance want to remind you that September is National Life Awareness Month, Life Insurance Awareness Month. Swiss can save you money on home and auto, resulting in no additional out-of-pocket for your life insurance needs. Reach out to the team at Swiss Insurance Group. The experts will provide you with financial peace of mind if the unexpected happens.
Yep.
For a limited time only, all new burgers and loaded fries at Big Boy. It's not a Slim Jim, it's the Big Jim. The chili cheese is such a tease. Guess what else is new? The bacon blue. How about upgrading those fries? Chili cheese fries, baked potato fries, nacho fries. What will it be? Satisfy those taste buds at Big Boy.
We aren't quite sure if they consume more beer or sports. Either way, the heavyweights are here. Live on Woodward Sports, daily 5 to 7 p.m.
My name is Lee. I've lost 35 pounds on the Custom Health Center program. So the three biggest benefits that I've gotten from this program has been I'm not snoring anymore, I have a lot of energy, it's great, and oh, by the way, look at this. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding.
Call us at 844-789-THIN or visit CustomHealthCenters.com for a free consultation and get started for as little as $5 a day.
Welcome back to Big D Energy, live right now at WoodwardSports.com. Thank you guys for being a part of our day. Having some fun talking sports. A lot of good Lions talk coming up. And then, Pistons played last night, first preseason game. We got some Red Wings talk on the way. And whatever you guys want to talk about, too, throw it in the chat. We don't mind going off course here sometimes.
Can I bring something up?
See? We're going to do it right now. What's up?
I'm watching in the distance. Aaron Judge, right? Yankees set the American League record, 62 home runs. last night in Texas. The only point is, did you see, because it's always about the 61st home run ball we were talking about, the guy had a chance to catch the ball and he knocked it off his glove and it went into the bullpen. Judge got it back. But last night, did you see who caught the ball?
I did not.
And if you get a chance to watch the replay, the guy standing and he hit it in left field where you'd expect a right-handed power hitter to hit a home run. But I guess he's a billionaire hedge fund guy.
Jesus, of course.
They said automatically that ball was worth like $2 million, and I don't think you're going to see it out in public. But
no,
hey.
that rich guy, he ain't looking to cash in. He's going to keep that at his house and like use it to play catch with his dog.
Something like that. But, for such a, I guess, a downer baseball season here in Detroit, the one thing is that tonight our boy Rogelio Castillo gets paroled because it's the last game of the season. But, in the big scheme of things, you saw Miguel Cabrera, 3,000 hits. You saw Pujols hit 700 home runs, and you saw Aaron Judge break the American League home run record with 62 home runs. So, if you're an old school baseball fan, I guess this was, I should have tempered this with this is for you, Maz.
Yeah.
There you go. Congratulations on a great year.
I got to be honest, Maz is really the only one that's like hyped about breaking 62.
That's because he was there when Maris hit 61.
Yeah. I saw them interviewing that guy after the game, after he had the ball, and they're like, "What are you going to do with it? Are you going to keep it? Are you going to give it back to Aaron?" I was like, give it back to Aaron.
Yeah.
If Aaron Judge wants this ball, he can pay me $6.2 million.
There was a fan that gave it back.
That fan is
gave
stupid.
Pujols the ball or whatever like that. But to each their own. But I just thought that, and it made sense. Somebody said, well, yeah, to sit in those seats, you have to have a lot of money to catch that ball.
Just getting there in general
but it'll
costs
be
a lot
interesting. It's history, and, there's your 3 minutes of baseball.
There we go.
Yeah,
62. How many times has 62 been surpassed? Like
Four, I think.
Sosa passed it a couple times. McGuire, Bonds.
I
get it's all NL, but to me, once you crack the number, I'm not going to get excited about 62, especially in the Yankees ballpark. That's like hitting 40 at Comerica.
But the question is do you consider Barry Bonds the home run leader, even though, the asterisk? See, I do. It's I don't care. But here's the thing, and this is like you said, my truth or whatever like this, is that he played by the rules that they gave him to play by. He's got the most home runs. I think
the tragic part about that is he could have done it without the drugs, I think. That's the tragedy of it all, and we'll never know.
It's been beaten 6 times.
6 times.
Sosa 63, 64, McGuire 65, Sosa 66, McGuire 70, Barry Bonds 73. What that tells me is bring steroids back. Put steroids in baseball. Makes the game
and it just tells me that getting pumped up for a number that's been destroyed 6 times just doesn't make sense to me. I don't get it. I really don't get the excitement
it's
over
the American League.
Yeah, he is the American League leader.
Great.
Record.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Hasn't been broke since, 61.
Since Maz was 12.
Right, exactly. So to each their own.
I guess if it was the Tigers doing it, I may be more excited about it, but the fact that it's a Yankee doing it and in that tiny little ballpark, it's like, whatever. Sam, what do you think? Are you excited about the 62? Does it matter to you?
It's cool, I guess. Aaron Judge is obviously...
What a raging endorsement!
He's obviously the best power hitter in the game right now, but I think me and Spencer might have had this conversation. It doesn't really move the needle for me, honestly. It's the Yankees. They can do their thing. If he was hitting 74, obviously I'd be hyped.
Right,
but
now we got something to talk about.
Yeah, but 62, especially when they're cutting into college football games to show his at-bats. It's like, come on, I don't need to see this.
Just for the record, are you guys baseball fans, in general?
Yeah,
yes.
I like baseball.
Okay. Because it's tough to come by baseball, pure baseball fans anymore. We're a dying breed. But
look at why in this town. And give us a reason and stuff like that. You got to be sort of old school. So, it is that the fandom is sort of dying, but it's just like, that's cool. I actually had more interest in Pujols hitting 700.
Yeah,
but
100%.
That's me, milestone.
Because that's never going to happen.
I agree.
10 years of 70 home runs.
Maybe that's maybe that's a poll question. What's cooler, season records or career milestones? You know what I mean? What are you more interested in? And I guess it'd be how you're invested into your guy.
Yeah. A lot goes into the career milestones too, because like LeBron has every almost career milestone, but he's also played longer than pretty much everybody else that's ever played in the NBA. So you got to take it with a grain of salt. Yes, he's great enough to accomplish those things, but the longevity helped him along the way too.
Well, it helps everybody.
Yeah.
It helps everybody.
What do you guys think of the Pistons now that we're talking a little bit about basketball? Preseason game last night. Jaden Ivey, 16 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 6 for 9 shooting in 22 minutes of play. Jalen Duren, 14 rebounds in 24 minutes. And our boy Killian Hayes, 11 points, 5 assists in 20 minutes. Watching the game last night, they lost to the Knicks. And they weren't running everybody out there like we're going to be doing during the regular season. It's a preseason game. Not going to get too caught up in the wins and losses, similar to football. But it was just nice to see all of these guys get out on the court together and really what our 2 rookies can do.
Yeah, I'm not taking too much stock in the wins and losses. Obviously, I asked you guys what you think about Cade's game, and first time back on, didn't do anything special. But so my question to you guys as basketball guys: what do you look for during basketball exhibition season? Is it you want to stay healthy? Are you looking to see the new guys, and how is this integration? Are you looking for somebody that's coming back like a Duren? Are they going to be able to make that next step? What do you look for? What do you want to see going into the opening night?
For the Pistons this year, it's the young guys, right? We want to see how the young guys, literally the 3 names on this list were the 3 guys worth watching last night. You want to see how Killian Hayes is going to evolve, if he's ever going to evolve, because at this point, he's coming off the bench at best, right, Spence?
Yes.
Like, the fact that they drafted Ivy, Cade's in town now. He's been pushed down the depth chart, even though he was our number 7 overall pick 3 years ago. So I want to see his growth. I still have full faith in Killian Hayes. I'm one of the only ones left on that bandwagon. But until it's over, we riding it, baby. Jaden Ivey, I want to see his explosiveness. I want to see, does he have his legs underneath him? Does he have the conditioning to compete at an NBA level? Does he have the body strength? Because usually when rookies come in, that's a big adjustment for them. You're getting hit by grown-ass men who all they do all day is lift weights and figure out how to beat you at basketball. A little bit different than going up against a 17-year-old who just graduated high school when you're playing in college, right? So I like to see that adjustment going from one level to the next. And with Duren, just how dominant can this guy be? Mm-hmm. This guy is special in a way that I don't really know how to describe yet because I haven't seen enough of it. But you could tell just physically, he is dominant, and if he grows into that body even more, he is going to be something we're going to be like, oh my God, we stole that guy.
No, Earl Puritan, the twirl himself, said when I asked him exactly about training camp and what he liked, and he just said this Duren kid is special. He's doing things at a young age, bringing the old and the new back together, something that could be dominant down low, so something to definitely take a look at. What about Cade? What about his size? You guys noticed a noticeable difference,
beefed up,
right?
Ashton the trainer.
No, but that's what I'm saying. So it was, it's almost like unveiling your new car, right? You got some upgrades on it, or your motorcycle or stuff like this. Dude, he's got to run it out there. He's got to run it on the track a few times, in a real live action to see what we're dealing with, right? Yeah. Might be a little closer to the guardrail on this point and this point, but I thought he looked good.
Cade looks great, and I mean last year. That's
like
what
his size, like he doesn't. It doesn't look like he bulked out of his body. He's got that slender look, but it looked like he muscled out. It's
he put on the weight the right way.
Put on the right weight.
He didn't just put on bulk, which is going to restrict your flexibility and stuff like that. He put it on. Ashton, the trainer, did a great job. He put it on the right way where he just got longer and stronger. Worked on the ligament training and stuff like that. Sam, watching the game last night, what were your takeaways?
I mean, my takeaways were honestly the rookies. That's what I was most excited about because you'd never seen them play on an NBA court besides for Summer League. Jaden Ivey really showed out. You saw his explosiveness, you saw his athleticism, you saw that he can handle the ball, and you even saw him make a play or two, like passing that one dish to Cade. That was amazing. But what impressed me the most, what made me happy going forward, was that number 6 for 9 from the floor. Yeah. I was worried about his efficiency coming into the season because even a guy like Cade Cunningham was not very efficient last year, especially starting the season. So if Jaden Ivey can not play beyond himself, if he can be an efficient scorer, I think that is what could unlock his Rookie of the Year potential.
Whoa.
And I mean, just like I know that's kind of bold, but he was the number 5 overall pick, so he's one of the people that you think, especially with Chet Holmgren being out, he's one of the guys that's going to be in the running. And Jalen Duren, you saw his size. You saw that he had 14 rebounds, which was amazing. You didn't see much with him scoring, which is fine, because we knew Jalen Duren would be a rim protector and he would get rebounds. His scoring will come along. I think as the years go by, he'll start to average efficient double-doubles and be a force on defense and rebounds, kind of like a guy named Rudy Gobert.
No, don't do that.
Is he going to touch mics with COVID?
Yeah.
Hey, Rudy Gobert is Spencer vastly underrates him.
Rudy
I'm just
Gobert's
saying.
a bum.
If Jalen Duren is Rudy Gobert, you'd be doing backflips and you know it.
No, I would not. I'd be upset.
Spence, what were your takeaways from the game last night?
A couple of the takeaways, Killian Hayes obviously looked like he improved. He made a couple shots, looked aggressive, looked very confident when he was making his dribble moves into the lane and doing different things like that. So you like to see that. Bogdanovich looked good. He looked like, a piece that the Pistons haven't had
hit a couple threes,
in a long time. Hit a couple threes, hit a step back. The stroke looked good, pause. But I am excited for that. Obviously, Jalen Duren, we talked about 14 rebounds in, 24 minutes. The guy is a freak out there. Greg Kelser said that he's ready to put the stamp on him like he put the stamp on Dennis Rodman and Andre Drummond about how they are just disgusting rebounding machines. Like, he put that out there. So I'm excited for that. There's a lot going on. There's no, like I said, Corey Joseph got on the court. I almost threw up in my mouth a little bit. We didn't see Hamidou in there at all. Alec Burks, obviously he started off injured, so he's not going to be in there. But Alec Burks will be getting those minutes that Corey Joseph was in when the season actually starts. So I'm excited for that a lot. Cade and Sadiq were off to kind of a slow start, but I'm not worried about them. Those two will come around once the season starts. So
Sadiq got off to a slow start last year too, remember?
Yes.
And then he just went on a tear. That's the one guy that is kind of lost in this mix of all this conversation of Cade Cunningham, Jaden Ivey, Jalen Duren. Sadiq Bey set the three-point record for the Pistons in his first 2 years, and we don't really even talk about this guy. He's got a chance to be one of the best shooters of all time. And that's just not me drinking Kool-Aid. Like, that's just statistics.
So that hopefully the other teams, that
forget about them too.
Well, that goes to show you that there's different guys that you have to focus on, not just like your first overall pick last year in Cade Cunningham when you come and play the Pistons. So
right.
Sadiq Bey, that shot's so lethal, and if he can be that second, third option, and if Bogdanovich and him are hitting shots the outside, Ivy's, being efficient, Cade's being efficient with the ball, this is a good team.
It's going to be interesting. It's going to be fun to watch them play. It's going to be fun to watch them grow together. It's going to be fun to see how Dwayne Casey comes up with his rotations. Because I'm starting to feel like we're actually giving Dwayne Casey some tools to actually coach a game.
I think you nailed it, Stick. And this is going to be fun.
Yeah,
to watch.
fun.
LCA between the Wings and the Pistons is going to be a lot of fun to watch.
Well, let's talk about that next, because I got a question for you regarding the Red Wings and the Pistons. But first, let me tell you about our friends at SMA, the sports marketing agency. They're here to help you if you have any addiction or anything that you need help with mentally or, like I said, drug-wise, addiction-wise. They want to take the stigma off of it and make it easier for you to talk. And they have a podcast called This Is the S Word, and the S stands for stigma. So make sure you go check them out right now, thesportsma.com. That is thesportsma.com.
Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Hello? Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
3 NBA championships. Detroit fans were there. 11 Stanley Cups. Detroit fans were there. 4 World Series wins. Detroit fans were there. And that one Lions playoff win in 1991, yeah, Detroit fans were there. Woodward Sports, where the fans are.
What's going on, everybody? It's Spencer for the Fulling Warehouse in Hamtramck. You know it, you've heard of it. It's the home of the original football bowling pin game called Fulling. 2 different ways you can play. They have $12 open unlimited play as well as private lane reservation for $120 if you get thirsty. They have a $2 mystery beer vending machine, or if you want to make a decision, multiple fully loaded bars for you to choose from. So make sure you go check them out in Hamtramck or visit them online at fullingwarehouse.com.
Welcome back to Big D Energy, live on woodwardsports.com. My name is Stick, filling in for Neil Rule today. Terry Foster is at the dentist. Darren McCarty, 4-time Stanley Cup champion, on the desk. We've been talking sports all day long, because that's what we do here at Woodward Sports. Make sure you're following us on every single platform imaginable at Woodward Sports. Flannel Salmon here, and of course, Spencer Raxter joining us from the TD booth. We were talking about the Pistons. You brought up the Red Wings. And that leads us into this question, Darren McCarty. Who will finish closer to the playoffs this year? The Pistons or the Red Wings? And if you want to throw that up in a poll on woodwardsports.com chat, we'll find out.
Well, it'd be if either one of them or both of them make the playoffs will be a bonus, in my opinion. But the way that the season's going to play out, I'm going to stick with the fact that if the Red Wings in the last week of the season we're having a conversation, if they beat Boston, they beat Ottawa, then they're in the playoffs. I think that this year, the team that they're building, it's not going to be easy. A lot of the other teams in the East have gotten better, but I think it's going to be the Red Wings. I think that I think the Wings are just ahead in the development. The Pistons are still trying to figure out what they have. They're almost where the Wings were last year with Sider and Raymond. So now, a little bit more coming together. So, it's gonna be close. They're gonna be exciting, but I think the Red Wings, like last year, will keep themselves into it at the first half of the year and have a better second half of the year. It's just the veteran guys that they've added, the goaltending, the experience, the coach, what they're preaching. I just think that they're gonna be there. I'm not going as far as saying they're gonna make the playoffs, but they're gonna be in the hunt. It's Batman hockey, so you want to be one of the 5 teams to get the last playoff spot in the last week of the season.
Yeah, and you never know what can happen from there. I love this comment by Chuck Brewer in the woodwardsports.com chat, because this is where I'm going with it. Numbers guy, just pure analytics. The NBA has 10 spots. The NHL has 8 spots. So the Pistons just mathematically have an advantage. And I'm with you. I think they're in very similar spots in their growth process. So that's where I will use as the tiebreaker in my brain. So to me, the Pistons are a little bit closer, only because they got to be in the top 11 to have a conversation. The Red Wings got to be top 9 to even be considered into the playoffs.
Fair enough.
No.
Well, the great thing is that let's play it out.
Yeah, it'll be decided on the field or
hopefully
the ice,
hopefully both
or
of
the
them.
court. What do you think, Sam?
I think the Red Wings could challenge for a playoff spot this season. So that's why I'm going to go with the Red Wings. The way that they've drafted, the Siders, the Raymonds. We hope that Simon Edvinsson can make an impact this season. Tyler Bertuzzi and Dylan Larkin are both coming off of their best seasons. And I haven't even mentioned Jacob Vrana yet, who, if he has a full, healthy season with the Red Wings, I could see him scoring 35 to 40 goals. And then you look at the free agents like David Perron, who's coming off of a 27-goal season. Ben Sherratt, who gives them depth on defense. And a guy like Dominik Kubalik, who had a damn good rookie year for the Blackhawks, but has kind of floundered a little bit. But the Red Wings, the Blackhawks they're a bad culture right now. They're a bad team. So you take him to a team like the Red Wings, and maybe they can resurrect his career, and he can become the player that he was his rookie season. And I haven't even mentioned Andrew Kopp, who just wins faceoffs. He could be their second line center. This is a team with the veterans they've added, with the players they've drafted, the players that they've already had, mainstays like Bertuzzi and Larkin. I could see them pushing for a playoff spot, although I think the question mark might be their goaltending.
I was just going to say, what's the goalie situation?
This is kind of a put up or shut up year for Alex Nedeljkovic to see if he can be their starting goalie going forward. And we shall see. He showed flashes of really, really good, but the Red Wings gave up like a 10 spot last year, an 11 spot, so that's where you have to question some things. But I still think the Red Wings will challenge for a playoff spot this season.
What about you, Spenmo Rax?
Yeah, I'm also going to go with the Red Wings. I think they added more playoff-ready pieces than the Pistons did. Like Sam said, with Kubalik, with Kopp, with Perron. Like, these guys are guys that will help the Zadinas, help the Horonics, help guys like that kind of take a step back. They don't have to be the number one option or the number two option. They can be what they are meant to be, and that's a third line guy or a second D-man pairing guy. So you have these guys who are legitimate NHL players, legitimate NHL veterans. You bring them in here, those guys are going to help you. I also think the Red Wings have a good shot at going to the playoffs this year. Obviously, it would have been a much better shot if the things in Boston didn't work out as well and Pasta left and things like that. But we'll see, because some of those teams are getting older. Some of those teams are going to start crumbling, like Boston, like Pittsburgh. Obviously, you still have the teams like Tampa Bay and Florida that are going to be dominant and do the things that they do. But I think the Pistons can sneak in because, you know, Husso and Ned are not a bad pairing at all. Like, I think both of those guys will drive each other to try to see who's going to be the starter. It might be an Osgood-Hasek situation. Obviously not at that level of player, but how they're going to battle with each other to see who gets the starting spot. So I'm excited for that. And obviously I think, you know, Mo Seider is an absolute stud. Lucas Raymond, I have high expectations. I think he can get to 30 goals this year, so I'm excited for them a lot. And yeah, I think the Red Wings can make a serious push at a playoff spot.
All right, we're seeing some comments in the WoodwardSports.com chat right now. D-Mac, I want your take on this. A top 5 goalie tandem is what they're saying the Red Wings have.
Has the ability to be, right? But somebody's got to be hot, stop the puck or whatever. But the bottom line, Mike G nailed it again, is that the goals against will be better, because your PK is going to be better. What you got to shut down on that's the number one concern, is keeping the puck out of your net, working goaltender out, defense out, the 1-1-3, all that. You mentioned guys, you know, expect Dominic Kubalik to have a great year. He is a great player, and if he's put in the right position, we've seen little flashes of that in exhibition. Kid's got a hell of a one-time. You look at Philip Zadina, a little bit more pressure off him, playing more of the third line. Is this where he's going to develop into with the Michael Rasmussens? And, you know, what did I see? The line tonight, Rasmussen, Soderblom, and Ernie or something like that. So you have the ability to not only establish the grit, you know, the forecheck, stuff like that. You got guys that can put the puck in the net. You're talking about Raymond with 30, and I'm talking about Verano with 40 and stuff like this, coming off a big year. So what we're talking about is I think that they have the talent. Now, across the league, a lot of other teams have gotten better, but they got to go out there and execute. And the sooner that they figure out their defensive game plan, it seems like the theme around this town, right, is you got to get that defensive stalwart game plan, scheme, whatever it is, down. Somebody asked me in the chat thread, how long does it really take to install a new defensive system? And honestly, it's going to probably take most of the season. In the perfect world, you're going to see ebbs and flows throughout the regular season, but you're going to be able to get in the playoffs. And for some reason in the NHL, when you get into the dance and then it clicks and then you're working on full cylinders, then you can get there quicker. You look like a team like Montreal, who wasn't expected a few years ago to make to the finals. So anything can happen. That's why it's sports. But, yeah, it's going to be exciting LCA no matter what.
Yeah, looking forward to it. And the fact that we can have this conversation and that we're both, everybody's positive about these teams. But I will say this with some caution. We're all pretty positive about the Tigers going into this season, too, about how they were going to take the next step and maybe contend for a playoff spot. So hopefully the fate of the Pistons and the Red Wings aren't even close to what happened to the Tigers.
I trust Troy Weaver and Steve Yzerman implicitly more than I trust LA.
The water at LCA is different than the water at American Ford Field. Across Woodward, you don't want to drink it across Woodward.
Yeah. The west side of Woodward's good, the east side no good.
That's what I'm getting at.
You know what's always good? Getting a haircut from Lady Jane's.
Absolutely.
That's where I got mine. Thank you, Alyssa.
Lady Jane's haircuts for men, 168 of them across the country. Come to Lady Jane's for award-winning experience and register for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win a down payment for your dream home. Up to $200,000. Yes, $200K. So get to Lady Jane's, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Wicked.
The Sports Marketing Agency would not be who we are without great community partners like Higuera Health and Carol Zuniga.
It's an awesome opportunity to partner with your organization. Higuera Health is a comprehensive behavioral health organization, we serve children through older adults with mental health, substance use, and developmental disabilities across Western Wayne counties, and really excited to now be in downriver communities as well. Give us a call at 734-458-4601.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man-meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
You don't have to go to the beach, man. You don't have to get your butt crack full of sand. You just need a little chili peppers, man, to get that glowing beach chili peppers tan. Woo!
With 26 locations in the Metro Detroit area and more coming, Chili Peppers Tanning is where you'll find the cleanest salons in the D. Join the Pepper Club for the best deals on unlimited tanning. Head to chilipepperstanning.com.
You just need a little chili peppers, man.
OddsTrader.com. That is where you need to go if you are in the betting game, because you know what? They give you the advantage that you need. Some books have points a little bit different. They may have the points over here at 13 and maybe 13.5 over here. So instead of scouring the whole internet for your best bet, OddsTrader already did it for you. Just go to OddsTrader.com right now. They will give you the lines for every sports book everywhere so you can pick the best one. So OddsTrader.com, the bet station for your best bet. All right, welcome back to Big D Energy right here on Woodward Sports. Shout out to everybody on the woodwardsports.com chat, and shout out to Chubby Charlie's Pizza. That pickle pizza is unreal. If you haven't had it yet, please go try it. It is absolutely delicious. Let's see, where'd my prep sheet go? What were we talking about? Oh yeah, this is for you, Flannel Sam. I want to hear about you, Flannel Sam. Let me start this off by saying, and I've established this on this network before, I have no dog in this race. I am not a Michigan fan. I am not a Michigan State fan. I went to University of Detroit Mercy. We do not have a football team. So I have no dog in this race. I root for both teams when they play each other. I just want both teams to play hard. That's all I want. I like the game. I love the rivalry. Fan bases, now that I've switched over to sports from Top 40 Radio, I've found these fan bases are something special. Ryan Romani, Braylon Edwards, who hosts Romani and Edwards with Maz.
With Maz.
Don't forget to say with Maz. And don't forget to put his picture, Spencer.
Yeah.
They're on 2 to 4 today. Ryan Romani is quoted as saying Michigan will win a national championship.
My bad.
Ooh, boy.
Sorry, guys. I left a D-Mac brownie on the desk, and he must have ate it before the show yesterday. That's why you shouldn't eat anything that D-Mac has, because obviously, he said when?
This year.
Yeah, he did.
This year.
Go ahead, guys.
No, that's...
Well, Flannel Sam is a huge Michigan fan.
Let's go to our Michigan Slappy.
That's a tough one, because I'm not usually one to sort of believe in hexes and curses and be superstitious. I'm just kidding. I very much am. And Ryan Romani also picked the Lions to win 10 games and make the playoffs. He also picked the Tigers to make the playoffs. And he also said that under Dan Campbell, the Lions would win a Super Bowl eventually. And I'm not saying that those last two things with the Lions aren't going to happen, but at least with the 10 wins this season, I'm saying that's not going to happen, and a Super Bowl is bold. So the fact that he's making another bold proclamation, it gives me a little bit of cause for pause, which it makes me think it's actually not going to happen. But if we're talking about football...
But my question to you before you keep going, Sam, is as a Michigan fan, do you wish he'd just be quiet? Because I think he just jinxed you. Like, I mean, if his track record's like that, are you more worried as a Michigan fan that why are you doing this, Brian? You just, like, jinxed us. At least, like, have something that is true first. Is there some sort of that in there? Like going, dang, dude, why'd you do that?
I would have been happier, honestly, if he would have said they're going to get into the college football playoff, and then from there we ride, we see what other teams look like, who they're playing.
Well, you did that last year. Right?
Yes. And
so why not go for it? Like, if you're going to lay them on the table, lay both of them on the table and make a proclamation.
You don't lay them out there to get chopped off, Stick. This ain't William Wallace back in the day.
Hey, if the Lions started 5-0, I'd be hollering Super Bowl right now.
Yeah, I mean, that's...
Yeah, but again, that's the ridiculousness of it. I think to your point, we talked about it on this show, what even Neil has said, because a one-loss Michigan team, if they lose, we'll get into the playoff, right? And then see what happens when you get into the playoff. Anything can happen.
Well, that's the thing. It is all set up for them to go to the playoff. I firmly believe that it will be an absolute disaster if they don't go into the Ohio State game undefeated. And I think once you get to the Ohio State game, they have a chance. I think Michigan is better at certain positions, particularly quarterback. And Ohio State might have a better offense even than they had last year and might be a little bit stronger up front.
You think they're better? Now, you're saying J.J. McCarthy is better than C.J. Stroud already?
No. Than Cade McNamara.
Okay.
We got to give to Ryan's credit, right? Because you nailed off what he said this year, so he's cold. Last year, for his credit, he did call the Michigan playoff, Michigan way. He was hot on the Michigan, so maybe in that aspect, he does have an idea. I just think
how many seasons he's predicted that, though. Because if you predict that every season and they hit...
He didn't say it last year.
Okay.
And he did have a good prediction last year. I will give Ryan credit. He said early in the year that Aiden Hutchinson would be in New York for the Heisman and Kenneth Walker would not. And he got roasted for it. And it happened.
And this goes back to, both these fan bases are hilarious from an outside perspective. Yeah. I love watching you guys spat in the hallways.
I mean, Michigan, it's not outside of the realm of possibility because if you get into the dance, there's a chance.
There's a chance.
Georgia does not look quite as formidable as they did last year. They struggled on the road against Missouri. They struggled at home in their previous game. I forgot who they were playing. They won by 17 against, a cream puff opponent. And Alabama, they don't have the dominant wide receivers and running backs of Alabama of yesteryear. They still have Bryce Young. They still have Will Anderson. I don't think they have the defensive depth. Ohio State, that's a team that I'm obviously worried about. Their offense looks every bit as good as it did last year. Mayan Williams and Travion Henderson are a problem. I think they look a little bit stronger up front than Ryan Day's teams have passed, and that's where Ohio State's been bitten, and I think that's where they emphasize on getting better. But Michigan, like I said before, I think J.J. McCarthy is an upgrade at quarterback over Cade McNamara. I think their offensive line, which was already great last year, got even better with the addition at center of Olu Oluwatimi. I think this guy has a chance of winning the Remington Award. This guy is that good. He was a transfer from Virginia. So if Michigan can get past Ohio State, they're obviously going to win the Big Ten championship whoever they face in the Big Ten West. Or even as D-Mac said, if they are 11-1 and Clemson is 11-1 and teams like USC and Oklahoma State are all 11-1, Michigan might get in over them. So I think their odds of making the playoff is very, very good. And the first step is making the playoff. And like I said,
let's go full.
Yes.
I mean, you're rounded second base. Are we going to go for the home run though? Are you going to win national championship? Can Michigan win a national championship this year?
They can. I'm not going to say they will. I know that that's kind of a cop out, but I need to see how they perform, in weeks to come because I still don't think they're playing completely to the potential that they have. Blake Corum, I think, has exceeded expectations.
It's tough to judge this team, though, right?
Yes,
because they really haven't played anybody besides Iowa.
Shouldn't the first thing be is you make the playoffs first and then see? You still aren't 100% sure of what you have until you play that game against Ohio State, and then we can sit here. So, I mean, to me, it's Ryan being Ryan. I think I like Mike T say that we all love Ryan. Is just sometimes his maize and blue Speedos is a little too tight.
Nothing wrong with that.
I don't think Michigan's going to beat Ohio State this year. I think going into Columbus, going into the Horseshoe is tough. I think with what I saw out of Michigan versus Maryland, like with what Talia Tagovailoa did to that Michigan defense, I think C.J. Stroud, Marvin Harrison Jr., like Sam said, Mayan Williams, Travion Henderson, those guys are elite talents at their position, and I think they're going to be too much, unfortunately, for Michigan's defense.
A lot depends, and you saw these two really show out in the last game. Can Mike Morris and Ayabi Oki, two edge rushers from Michigan, really emerge into getting consistent pressure, make a few game-wrecking plays a game? Because they're obviously going to need that at Ohio State. Really, really bother and harass C.J. Stroud like Aiden Hutchinson and Ojabo did last year. I'm not saying they're going to be Hutchinson and Ojabo, but that is a position where Michigan, a couple of these guys, at least one of these guys, really has to emerge. I'd also like to see more from Mozzie Smith up the middle. He's getting double teamed a lot. He's obviously a great talent. I want to see him wreck a game or two, and that to me will show whether or not Michigan can beat Ohio State, because like Spencer said, those Ohio State weapons, they're no joke.
What about Michigan State? I mean, you're Michigan State, you're Michigan.
Garbage.
We got you both in the same room right now. Say what you want. I mean, Michigan State isn't doing well this year.
They're terrible.
How often have they beaten Michigan in the past 4 or 5 years?
10 of 14.
10 of 14?
Yeah.
Do you still give them a shot this year?
No.
No shot?
No. I said at the beginning of the year they weren't going to beat them.
Okay.
I said before we played one game that Michigan State was going to lose to Michigan this year. But, yeah, no, absolutely not. I have no faith in the Spartans at all.
Flannel, what if you guys lose to State this year?
I will develop a mysterious illness and maybe the next week have to... I'm not going to be. No, I'm kidding.
Your wedding is that week, isn't it?
The Saturday after I get back is the Michigan State game.
Okay.
So that would be a hell of a wedding present. That would break me in ways that I think no sporting event ever has, because I've really tempered my crap talk about Michigan State because Jim Harbaugh still has not beaten Mel Tucker. I want to go in. I want to tell everybody like Adam Baydoun that you were an idiot for supporting State. I want to be insufferable to Spencer, but I can't yet. I can't. And oh man, I want to unleash, but I don't unleash unless I have a reason to unleash. That's where I'm different from a lot of people.
Yeah, because how can you when you're like, bro, you're 4-14 against us or 4-10 against us? Well, how are you going to run your mouth?
You can't, and that's something that I know that I think a lot of Michigan fans don't. You still got to beat Mel Tucker, Jim Harbaugh, and I think it's going to happen. I think that the game is going to play out similarly to 2019, where Michigan clearly had the superior team, and it was at the Big House, and they beat Michigan State 44-10. I think it's all set up for that on paper, but those Michigan State teams, a lot of those Michigan State teams that aren't good, they give Michigan a game. I mean, Spencer, you remember 2016 where Michigan State bottomed out and was 3-9?
Yeah.
They played Michigan pretty close. It was a 32-23 game. And in 2018, where Michigan State had probably the worst college football offense I've ever seen with Brian Lewerke, I think he was injured, and Dave Warner, I'm sure that was a name that gives you cold sweats.
Yes.
And they played, it was tied 7-7 in the third quarter. So crazy things happen in those games, and that's why I'm not quite ready to talk my crap just yet.
Oh, man, it's going to be a special day around here at Woodward Sports when Flannel Sam can actually talk the crap he wants to talk. Because I know you're like Eminem. You got a whole notebook of things you've been keeping track of for the last 14 years ready to go at these guys.
Hey, and a lot of Michigan fans could actually take a lesson from me. Just hold back until you really got them, and then just bury them.
They're going to win. Michigan's going to win. It's, Roman Wilson, Ronnie Bell, A.J. Henning. These guys are going to make our defense go home and cry.
I agree.
Amir Speed cannot keep up with Ronnie Bell.
And I agree 100% on paper that it's all set up for Michigan to just blast them.
Halloween weekend, right? We're going to find out the 29th.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Hopefully J.J. McCarthy gets, dysentery or something.
Is this Oregon Trail? What the hell?
He eats some bad candy corn and he can't play.
Well, one thing you better hope he doesn't have is some Cintron, because he's going to have that energy to get through the game and to rock Michigan State.
Settlers of Catan, holy cow.
Oh, God, we're back on Settlers of Catan.
Settlers of Catan.
Cintron, the official energy drink of your Detroit Red Wings. It's combined all three of their delicious flavors into one limited edition 6-pack that you can order right now. Just go to CintronWorld.com/Red Wings. That is CintronWorld.com/Red Wings. Pick this up and drink it all season long.
New to the game or a season better? OddsTrader.com has everything you need to make the right bet ahead of kickoff. Begin your handicapping journey with OddsTrader. Improve your edge by finding the best price on every game from sportsbooks in your backyard. Take advantage of the numerous sign-up bonus offers to pad your bankroll. Dive into key game statistics, player performance, and even account for the projected game day weather. Best of all, you can use the OddsTrader Bet Tracker to keep a log of your action. Welcome to OddsTrader, and best of luck.
We aren't quite sure if they consume more beer or sports. Either way, the heavyweights are here. Live on Woodward Sports, daily 5 to 7 p.m.
Hi, I'm John from Better A Mortgage, and to me, family is more than blood. That's why I have the biggest family in Metro Detroit. If you're looking to buy a house or refinance and need a loan, come get treated better than family by me and our entire team here at Better Rate Mortgage. We pride ourselves on giving you better advice, better service, and a better loan experience. That's why we are Better Rate. If you're looking for a new mortgage, come get treated like family. Actually, better with Better Rate Mortgage. Visit us at mybetterrate.com or call at 248-480-4467 today.
Listen, if you go back and watch early videos from woodwardsports.com and check it out, you'll see I was about 230. Now I'm rocking about 190. I've dropped about 40 pounds, and I tell you, I feel better, I sleep better, my joints feel better. And if you're having any type of issues with your weight, make sure you call the Custom Health Centers today. They take the willpower out of weight loss. Whether you need to lose 20 pounds or 120 pounds, Custom Health Center will help you do it quickly and safely. Go to customhealthcenters.com or give them a call today. There's the phone number right there, 844-789-THIN. That's 844-789-THIN. And get like Kyle. Get down 38 pounds. Welcome back to Big D Energy on woodwardsports.com. Thank you guys for being a part of the show. My name is Stick, filling in for Neil Rule today. Terry Foster is out. Darren McCarty on the desk. Flannel Sam over there simping on some Michigan. And then, of course, we have Spencer Raxter making sure we look good on the air. So thank you guys for being a part of the show today. A beautiful Wednesday right here in the Motor City. And I'm ready to do this, D-Mac. We talked a lot about the Lions earlier in the show, and we're going to go back to some Lions topics here. And I think this is a good question because we're adding these two guys. Well, Jerry Jacobs played last week, but we're adding Josh Paschal potentially to the starting lineup this week, or at least in the rotation of defensive linemen. Who do you think is going to have a bigger impact on this Sunday's game on the defensive side of the ball for the Detroit Lions?
Yeah, it's tough to say because Paschal has been out there and you don't have any reps, and we see, some rust and stuff like different guys. So really, how much of an impact is he? How many plays is he going to play? If he's going to play, how healthy he is. That's why we'll look at the injury report later on in the week. The more that I see he's not limited in full practices, the more confident that I will be. It definitely can't hurt, putting a body like that there. But to me, Jerry Jacobs, what he did last year, being one of these, being the best undrafted free agent in the league, he's unfortunately got hurt, but I think he's got some potential and he's got some skills, and I think that they're going to have to lean on him because of the loss of Tracy Walker and stuff. So however they use him, so I'd be looking, Jerry Jacobs, we've seen him make plays.
Yeah.
Right? So he's a guy that's made plays in the past, so hopefully he puts in the right spot, and I'm going to go with him, Jerry Jacobs.
I'm going to take the opposite guy.
Before I say anything, give him a follow on Twitter. He's a great follower.
Is he
on
funny?
Twitter. He's positive, very positive, and I like it. I like to cheer for guys like that. So,
how many Detroit athletes do you follow on Twitter?
As many as I can.
Really?
Yeah.
Like as soon as they get signed, you're like, because you're kind of the ambassador for Detroit. When when Malcolm Rodriguez came out, like those guys look up to you, right? Because they know that if I want to be beloved, if I want to be beloved in Detroit, I better respect the man that beat the shit sorry, gents, that beat the hell out of Claude Lemieux.
Well, it's always nice and stuff like this, but you look back at it, and a lot of these kids or whatever, no matter what sports, if they're fans of hockey or whatever, have only watched you play in video, haven't seen you play live. That's how you know you're 50 years old now, Sticks. So I think it's important because it's about the culture, right? No matter what sport it is, you want them to be part of Detroit. Detroit opens its arms, and you open your arms to them. So it's just all about, and it's cool. I like cheering for guys like athletes that are good people, right? And I like to find out, and it helps you cheer for them even more.
Yeah, not to, let you in behind the secret. Not all athletes are great people. Sometimes it sucks to meet your heroes, and then you learn that, oh, man. But it's just like everything. If you're a gas station attendant, some people you work with are awesome, some people suck. If you work here at Woodward Sports, some people are awesome, some people suck. We won't list those people on the air here, but you know who you are.
Adam. No.
I was going to say, you guys already know. I mean, just turn into the morning show. He sits right here.
But I tell people that all the time, like when I first started at Woodward Sports, I come in here, I meet Darren McCarty, I meet Braylon Edwards, and they're both like such cool, such down to earth guys that like if you didn't know who they were or you didn't see them, you didn't know Braylon was 6'5", 200 pounds, like you wouldn't think that they're professional legends in the city.
Right.
They're just so down to earth, both so cool, so welcoming that it was really cool. Really cool.
Yeah,
really
it's a cool thing we got going on here, man. Like when I used to think about like the Sports Center commercials when you're just sitting there and then all of a sudden the mascot or like a famous athlete walks by. That's some days how I feel here. Like we're just sitting there eating lunch at the table and Darren McCarty sitting there and it's like, oh man, this is normal. This is life. Me and Darren got in an argument about chairs the other day.
Yeah.
And like I never thought in my life would I be raising my voice to Darren McCarty over chairs of all things.
It's always the stupidest thing, and that's the best part, a little behind the scene. But like Woodward Sports, that work about the people, right?
Mm-hmm.
About bringing. So it's about the people. If it's about the people, stick. It makes sense to. It's about the players too. It's about life, and it's about we're joined by our love of the different sports teams. We have different opinions, but at the end of the day, it's our compassion for people. So.
Yeah, we got a good thing going on. Well, back on topic, the guy I'm looking forward to, Josh Paschal. And the reason I say this is because of what the initiative is this week for the defense, right? They want to simplify. Well, what's more simple than see ball, get ball out of your defensive ends? Just go get it.
So, but what are your expectations because you haven't seen him or because he's been hurt? Or do you have any expectations or is it more of we have nothing to lose?
It's a little bit we have nothing to lose, but it's a lot of when we first drafted this guy, we were doing the draft show here on the second day in the studio and Scott Bischoff was up here. And when we drafted him, I had this look, I'm like, who? Why would we take this guy? We just took a defensive end, number 2 overall. Why are we taking this guy? And Bischoff kind of talked me off the ledge. And then I went and did some more research. I started watching more film on this guy. And watching him play at Kentucky against those SEC linemen all year when he is all that Kentucky had and he was still able to be a dominant force, got me kind of excited because, say what you want about Aiden Hutchinson. He was great. He went number 2 overall. In the national championship run, he didn't have great success against SEC teams. Not over the top. This guy played against those guys week in, week out, and had success.
Does Josh Paschal make Aiden Hutchinson better?
Yes. Okay. Yes, he does. Just by default, or it's going to work the other way. The double teams on Aiden are going to make Paschal better. So either way, you need those complementary pieces because we're seeing it. If you need to take Aiden Hutchinson out of the game, you can because you don't have to worry about anybody else. We need the guy that you at least have to consider, right? And that's what I think Josh Paschal will be for us. Sam?
For me, it's Jerry Jacobs for a couple of reasons. One, we've seen Jerry Jacobs last year. You saw him come in as an undrafted free agent after a guy like Okudah was out for the season and was a starting level corner. Him and Amani Oruwariye kind of made a pretty good tandem. I mean, Jerry Jacobs, to me, was a revelation and another feather in the cap of a guy like Brad Holmes who was able to kind of find a Jerry Jacobs off the proverbial scrap heap. And also, Amani Oruwariye is in danger of losing his job.
Yes.
Amani Oruwariye has been unplayable this season, which creates a need for maybe a guy like Jerry Jacobs. I mean, in week 1, Amani Oruwariye got torched by A.J. Brown to the tune of 155 yards. In week 3, he had an entire team's worth of penalties by himself. And then in week 4, he, along with Jeff Okudah, allowed DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett to basically do whatever they wanted. So I'm looking for Jerry Jacobs to maybe come in and at the very least push Amani Oruwariye and make and kind of like have Amani Oruwariye feel some heat because Amani Oruwariye is not getting it done at all. He's one of the biggest disappointments on this team, probably the biggest disappointment. So Jerry Jacobs coming up, maybe taking Amani Oruwariye's spot, at least pushing him, at least maybe playing in some nickel packages. I think Jerry Jacobs coming back could be, I don't know how critical he can be for this defense, but at least help, and that's all I want to see.
What about you, Spenmo?
Yeah, it's tough not to say Jerry Jacobs, but I am going to go with Josh Paschal as well because I think, like you said, I think he'll help out Aiden Hutchinson. if not helping out Aiden Hutchinson, he'll get his because so much attention is being paid to Aiden Hutchinson. And he's that dog. He's got that Crystal with an X dog in him. Like, he's going to go out there and he is going to attack. He is going to, yell at every exhale. Like, he is going to be the guy that goes out there and tries to rip the quarterback's head off. And we need more of that. So I'm excited for him to get out there. I'm excited to see him be on the field next, in between, depending where he lines up. He's very versatile. They can put him at different spots on the defensive line.
And that's exactly what DCP1 in the WoodwardSports.com chat was saying. And I was going to bring this up right when you were done. Strong side Paschal, stand up Aiden on the other side. And not even doing that, move Aiden around, because we saw that in training camp. That's what they were doing with him. Sometimes he was inside, sometimes he was outside. Now you may be able to leverage him a little bit more.
Well, it looks like this side of the room's looking for the ball strip, and that side of the room's looking for the head rip. Yeah. So there we go. It's all good. If they're both doing,
combine those things.
Can we agree though that if we do hear their name, if we recognize that it can't be any worse, and I think that what we'll see is hopefully this is something that makes that defensive line a lot better.
I just want Paschal to do well so I can quit hearing it from Maz.
Yeah.
They have dogged this dude who's never even stepped on the field. Oh, another wasted second-round pick. It's like, whoa.
He had a hernia, man. It's not like
we shouldn't be drafting hurt players.
Yeah.
Come on.
It's not like he's got a broken leg or a torn Achilles. Like, he had a hernia. It's going to take him like 4 weeks, and then he'll be good to go.
Yep, he'll be just fine. Why don't you tell him a little bit about Guardian Alarm and get your questions ready, because coming back next, we are going to do Ask DMAC right here on BDE. Tell them about Guardian.
Well, everybody knows it's the right time and the perfect time to make sure you have peace of mind and home security from Guardian Alarm, the most trusted name in home and business security. 24/7 monitoring, give you peace of mind knowing that you are backed by the absolute best. So give them a call today, 1-800.
Stay out.
That's 1-800.
Stay out.
Get out.
142?
Yes, sir.
142 days straight of flannel protection. We're not even halfway there, but he's getting it done. So if you want to be part of the Guardian Alarm, local security experts, family, give them a call, 1-800.
Stay out. Get
Stay
out
Bailey
of my
Zappe.
house.
Whatever you do, make sure you tell them Woodward Sports, we sent you.
Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
Game is won in the trenches, and our big fellas don't mess around. The Woodward Heavyweights on Woodward Sports.
It's a great day to get some Centron in your life. Okay. There it is. Centron, here we go. Gotta grab the cranberry. Oh wait, it's 2 for $4. Gotta double up with the classic as well. Centron World, baby. Centron, available at select Krogers, and if you want to know how, go to @CentronWorld.com. You get dope like me. You know what? Why wait? Great taste, guaranteed.
Get your free Woodward Sports t-shirt. That's right, a free Woodward Sports t-shirt.
It's free.
All month long at Big Frog and Novi. Just stop by, let them know that we sent you. They'll print you out. Boom, bang, boom. Right on the spot. Go to Big Frog Novi today. Get your free t-shirt or visit them online. BigFrog.com/Novi.
Bing bong.
Bing bong.
Welcome back. Big D Energy. What were you saying, D-Man?
Speaking of bong.
Yeah, it's almost that time. Huh?
Almost that time.
Post-show party with D-Mac and Stick. Here we go. Welcome back. It's Big D Energy on the Woodward Sports Network and woodwardsports.com. We're doing Ask D-Mac. It's where you throw questions in the chat, and we get to ask 4-time Stanley Cup champion D-Mac, because it's a pretty cool damn thing to be able to do on a daily basis, is talk to Darren McCarty just straight through woodwardsports.com. So if you have any questions, make sure you throw them in the chat right now. There was one that I saw that I'm trying to find right now. Kyle R. What up, guys? Shout out to D-Mac from Belleville, Ontario.
Bell Vegas, baby.
Go Bulls.
Where's made? Well, they're gone now. They're in Hamilton. So
any good memories from your Bulls days is his question.
So many great memories. Quinty Secondary School. That's where Fish and I, because I played rugby. I never played football, but in Canada you played rugby. So
really?
I played rugby after hockey season and stuff. But Quinty Secondary School, obviously. Belleville, now it's Ottawa's farm team in the AHL. But the thing about the Belleville Civic Arena, it's Olympic ice.
Okay.
Only OHL rink that had Olympic ice. So that's why they throw you out in the pond if you can't skate. That's how I learned. You're either going to drown or you're going to learn how to swim. So Belleville made me what I was. Shout out to Larry Mavity, my coach, and I love Belleville. Great town. Quinny, and Quinny Golf Course.
Okay.
Played there a lot.
Love this question from the
Quinny.
WoodwardSports.com chat. Jeremy Anderson. D-Mac, when is the last time you beat someone up not on the ice or in a ring? Like, what's the last, legit fight?
Was it when that dude ate the traffic meter or the parking meter?
Oh, that was a good one. That was rookie year though. That's because he put his hands on my buddy Guido. I think it was in Colorado during an alumni game up in Aspen, because the thing is that people really don't want to do that. So you have to tell them that they can knock you out or kill you, and they get 3 shots. And only one person's ever took me up on that. It was some guy in Colorado, and he ended up on the floor because I don't just slide a girl stick. If you're going to take a swing at me, I'm going to knock you out before you even get it. I lied about letting you hit me.
Yeah.
That's the whole point of the purpose. I've only had to lie once.
You
so.
sandbagging son of a bitch.
Well, that's what I like. Get over it. I say I don't just lie to girls.
You punched Isaac in the face through plexiglass. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, but that was for effect.
Yeah.
That was one of the best things ever happened here.
We got a
Love
shirt out of
Isaac,
it.
too. Not that Isaac got punched, but...
Oh, by the way,
that was hilarious.
Hey, low-key, I sent him a picture from the Dearborn sausage at LCA the other day because it was open.
I sent him one at the concert because it was closed when I was there for Post Malone.
No. It was open for the Wings game. I get it open for the Wings game. Too bad I won't invite you to one, Isaac.
Mike G in the WoodwardSports.com chat asked D-Mac, favorite place you took the Stanley Cup?
Ooh, that's a good one.
You know what? If you go to at Losser and Maple, there's an ice cream place. I forget what the name of it is, but we took the Stanley Cup in there, and this was in 2008. Filled it with 25 scoops of ice cream, the biggest sundae ever. Had the kids there, a bunch of friends. I think there's 6 of us eating it. Now the whole thing with the Stanley Cup, right? It's that condensed, so the ice cream headache is out of this world. And if I'm a guy, I get ice cream headaches, so it's every bite, it's ow! But there's great pictures of it there. So, yeah, guys have eaten cereal out of it. 17.5 beers. You can't get 18 in there. You just get to that bubble at 17.5.
That's a fun fact.
That is
right
a good fact to know, yeah.
17.5, can't get 18 in.
17.5 12-ounce beers?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll have to do the math on that, but now we know exactly how many fluid ounces the Stanley Cup holds. That's amazing. Not exactly where I thought you were going to go with that story. That's a very PG-rated story. Ice cream.
Absolutely.
I was expecting.
That was for the family.
210.
Well, it's not a question. It's
the
not
night before, a
it's not
stripper's
a D-Mac on grind time.
210.
D-Mac, what did you do with the cup that you can't tell everybody because it probably put you in jail? Exactly.
Exactly. We got ice cream. That's all we did with the cup was get ice cream.
210 fluid ounces in the Lord Stanley.
Okay. It's a little over 540s. That's how I do my beer math.
40s.
I love it.
The 17.5 rule, Andrew Alley-Sung says in the WoodwardSports.com chat. And Jake Wagner says, I remember a pic from the newspaper of Mac with the cup strapped to the back of his motorcycle riding down the highway. That's my favorite cup story.
And you know what the brilliance of that one is that's not my Harley. That's Bob Probert's Moo Moo Cow Harley.
Nice.
Because why? Because I had the V-Rod and I didn't have a back on it. And when we went to put the cup on, I needed the back seat to attach it to it. So fun fact, that picture's taken going down Orchard Lake Road between Maple and Walnut Lake by the Detroit News. I think Julian Gonzalez took it in the back of a Cadillac as I was riding down the road. It's probably about 9 at night or so like this. Yeah, one of my favorite ever.
Yeah, anything cooler in life, man? Like, it's like one of those surreal moments that you dream about.
I don't know, but I think I might have been the first one to throw it on the Harley or first one to get it documented like that. Remember when they used to come out with all those pictures in the paper and stuff? Those are the best. Well, they're going to be good and they're going to do it again.
Well, thank you guys for being a part of Big D Energy today. That is Darren McCarty. Tune in back tomorrow. We'll be doing Ask DMAC again around the same time, about 12:50 every single day. So think about your questions all day long. Come back and hit us with the heat. Flannel Sam, thank you so much for being a part of the show today. Spencer, as always, killing it over there. My name is Stick. We are out for the day. Armani and Edwards with Maz.
With Maz.
Next, with Maz. Maz. It's amazing.